All right, well, here we are back again live on Facebook. Sports Chats in the house. We got Ron, we got John. What's going on, fellas?
Yo. What's good?
Everybody doing good?
Greatest time of the year, son.
Brother.
It's October officially.
Woo!
If you're a sports fan, you can't go wrong.
Division I playoffs starting this week with baseball. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Division series start today, all four of them.
Big game here in the ATL with the Braves and the Phillies.
Braves are favorite to win it all,
going
right?
down?
No, I'm gonna be here watching college football today. They have all kinds of. They're expecting 60,000 plus down there, and I said no, I'll hang out here and watch. But I'm gonna watch that. I got a lot on my docket today.
What's the weather in the ATL this weekend?
I guess I haven't been outside but for a second. We had a temperature drop last night. It's supposed to get chilly down here, so it's been in the 80s all week. But
so
it's
went down to 70.
No, it's like 60-something degrees right now, bro.
Man, it's 52 in Detroit. It's chilly.
Yeah, it's 69 here, but it's raining, light rain.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the break in the heat. Though I like the fall. It's my favorite time of year. You can cozy up with the, it's a little chillier.
Yeah, I think our warm front is moved out. Is gone yesterday. So here we go.
Yeah, they say it's supposed to spread all the way down.
It was 85 Wednesday.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was in the 80s this week.
That's great. 85 in October in Albany, man. That's crazy.
This is we got football weather. 52 degrees, a little overcast. That's like
I think what you got is heading this way starting tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, listen, since we talking about football weather, regional play has started here in Georgia for high school football. My Blue Devils got a win last night, 17-7 over over Harrison, over their regional foe. Look, there's 3 seasons in Georgia high school football. There's when they first start, right? There's that, and they play all their non-region schedules. And now the regions play just started last night. So now you're in.
How many games do they play?
Wow, this is week 7. So we're 7 deep. I think there's 3 or 4 more. They play 11 games. But you have the non-region schedule. And what my Blue Devils like to do is play the toughest teams in Georgia. They literally had the toughest schedule, I think, of the whole of all of what they call 7A, which is the highest classification.
Who from that area should we be looking at on the college gridiron next year?
Who's the number one?
Aaron Nolan,
Ohio State,
and Jeremy Hiklinski. He's a quarterback at Walton High School, who is probably the best team in Georgia. They're in Marietta too, but they're on the east side of Marietta. They had a big game against North Cobb High School last night. Walton has been undefeated all year long. Hiklinski's like a 6'5". Kind of brunette quarterback. He's smart, got a big arm, tall. He's going to Wake Forest. So Jeremy Hiklinski, and there's a running back at North Cobb High School. His name is he's an African kid. I want to say Mbumbukwe. He's actually, I think he's targeted. He's got a couple schools on his list. Michigan being one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. John. He I think last week or 2 weeks ago before they had their bye week, he hung I think he had 4 touchdowns or something, 200-something yards rushing. I mean, he's just been tossing people.
We're going to keep some good running backs at Michigan, so hopefully.
Yeah. And I think y'all got one from North Cobb last year, too.
And not only that, we stole the number 1 prospect out of Ohio, right from under Ohio State, from Cincinnati. I can't remember the kid's name right now, but we're looking. Huh?
I said, is he a Griffey?
No.
Listen, man.
John, I see Marcus Porter was watching. What's going on, Marcus?
All right, Mark.
Dad, you zeroing in on us. All right, well, listen, guys, we got college ball today, and tomorrow night, John.
Showdowns, buddy. Let's go.
Showdown, baby. Let's go.
The proof is in the pudding tomorrow, son.
Well, I'll say
tomorrow night.
This will be this. You talking about the Cowboys and the 49ers?
Cowboys and the Niners tomorrow night.
I think this will be more of a report card for Dallas. Dallas, who they beat? The Jets, the Giants,
Jets and Giants, and New England.
And it's good to look. It's easy to look good defensively against teams like that. But with Brock Purdy, and I mean, the thing that Dallas specializes in on defense is one-on-one, man-to-man coverage, and Brock Purdy feasts on man-man coverage. That's he's thrown most of his touchdowns against man-man coverage. And then when you factor in Christian McCaffrey, I don't see any way Dallas wins this game tomorrow night. Not from what, not if they have to.
I'll be honest with you. You know, as a big Cowboy fan, I don't see us winning tomorrow either.
And it's in Frisco.
And our offense is still a little stagnant. They got a lot of kinks to work out. Defensively, will be in because when teams did score them, they scored on them big plays. So, and you know, in San Francisco, matter of fact, their offense kind of mirror each other, that short stuff, and then they count on that yak. And so you got Debo and McCaffrey yakking up a storm out there. Man. So we'll see how it goes, though.
Christian McCaffrey, we'll be ready. That Christian McCaffrey is I don't have many words to say about him, man. That guy is phenomenal.
He just got to stay. He got to stay on the field, though. He always getting hurt some kind of way.
Yeah.
I like where the Niners are.
He's the AD and Quai of he always hurt some kind of way.
After Miami's loss.
Again, he was in Carolina. So, I mean, difference in the offensive line and all that kind of stuff, too. But thus far, he's been killing them.
Yeah, I like where the Niners are. The key for them will be staying healthy. The last few years, they get bit by that injury bug, man. So this year so far, knock on wood, they've been healthy, and hopefully they can maintain that. The Cowboys, really, like John said, it's a test and proving ground for y'all. Herm, I think it's really just finding out, can y'all rise to the big occasion. The Jets, a little tough. Tough luck for them. The Giants still can't figure it out. The Patriots still have problems all over the field, I think. So, you got some good wins there, but it's just a matter of finding out where you go when you're playing that elite competition.
Well, I hope they show up to play. I mean, last time they went on the road, the Cardinals busted them. So you can't come to San Francisco and not be ready.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, Dallas was missing 3 of their offensive linemen against.
They had 3 missing, and then 1 went down in the game.
Yeah, and then 1 went down. They were
short like 4 people.
I'll give them a pass for that loss. But again, they feasted.
But again, that's the offensive line. What's the matter with the defense that day?
No, I get you. I understand that, but I'm saying when your offense doesn't help your defense.
Dallas' problem is they can't score in the red zone. They move the ball and just can't.
They're kicking field goals. And then too, when your offense doesn't help, the best of defenses will go south when your offense doesn't help them. And I just think that's where, if we're relying on Dak, if the game has to be put on Dak's shoulders, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's something.
Well, here's the thing too. No, and nobody's talked about it though. But our red zone threat is gone now with Zeke.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever Dallas got in the red zone last few years,
he was your horse. He was your horse.
He scored those points in the red zone on the ground. So that phase is gone. I was watching a film. They were showing they go Dallas run this play all the time. They try to throw that fade to CD in the corner. They haven't converted it yet this year. And then on one of the plays, they go, and why you guys just run behind Zach Martin, right? Martin pancaked 2 people on 1 block, but Pollard ran into Dak, handing them the ball.
They got to clean it up down there in the red zone.
The whole Martin left. All 3 of us could have scored. That's how big the hole was.
One of the things I find with teams in the red zone, these days is, man, I'm a big proponent of kind of delayed rolls out from the tight end or delayed rollout from a running back. Like you can get really creative in the red zone. A lot of teams don't do enough of it. I mean, I see when you're on the one, maybe you got a big back and you want to just power it through. But there's so many options you have when you're in the red zone. I mean, you can fake the handoff, pull it back, have your little tight end delay, pop them out, and then catch a tight. I mean, you got to learn to utilize those tools. The play calling I've seen in the red zone for a lot of teams in the NFL, horrible.
Well, you know, one of the problems is too, guys, is in the red zone now. Nobody's under center anymore. Everybody's in the shotgun.
Yeah.
So that kind of takes away a lot of your run options when you're operating out the shotgun in the red zone. I mean, come on.
Well, just the red zone period, it can be challenging to score just because of the lack of real estate.
Right.
There's not enough there's not enough a lot of room for movement.
Not a lot of room.
And so you have to really, like Ron said, you have to really get creative in the red zone. And that's what Dallas has been really lacking. And it's just like a team like the 49ers. I mean, things will work against the Giants, you know. I mean, how much do you have to hate your quarterback to allow him to get sacked 10 times in one game? I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, do y'all hate that man? Is it 10 sacks in one game?
I don't know. They haven't figured it out, man. John, I tell you right now, man. I have family members that are Giant fans. My father-in-law and my brother-in-law are big Giant fans, man. I feel for those guys because, it just never like they get disappointed so often. They were so optimistic going into this season about the way they played last year, and then this year, man, they just have nothing.
That game was brutal.
And they have a great defensive line. Their defense isn't really the problem. They cannot block, and they can't stay on the field, and they can't score points. And
40. What did they give Daniel Jones? $40-something million a year.
Dallas was 40 to zip.
No. I'm saying, what was his cut
for any time?
Oh, that's looking like money.
40 million.
Well, but the thing is, man, I was expecting Danny to have. Honestly, I was expecting him to have show a lot of growth this year. Like the Giants as an organization have done a lot to, solidify their front office. They got a whole new system for scouting and all that kind of stuff. They got a coach that they really believe in who's been successful in Buffalo. And I was expecting this is going to be the year that he's in another second year in that system, that he was going to really elevate. But look, man, one thing that you can't do, if you can't block for your quarterback, you can't keep the guy upright. There's two parts of that, man. It can't just be his fault. And then you got to fix that offensive line. The game is won in the trenches.
Yep.
Period.
People don't understand that. That is, you can get all the flashy wide receivers you want. The trenches is where the game of football is won.
Look at the 49ers are a perfect example of that, man. Trent Williams and everybody, they've been healthy, right? And Brock Purdy has not been touched this year. He ain't been touched. Yeah. He's back there just whoop, 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 whoop. And the way their system is set up, they run them little outs and the little things to yard after the catch. They depend a lot on those short passes and the big runs from Debo and from McCaffrey and stuff. And then they might hit you one time with Ayuk deep. But by and large, it's all these 15-yard crosses, 10-yard outs,
right,
and stuff.
Right.
But Purdy just standing back there like this, throwing behind that back pass.
It really is, like I said, if you got a good offensive line, it's really a safe way to play. And then when you got when you got guys on, when you got specialty guys that are great, it's even better.
Yeah. Right. This will be a test for Dallas' defense. This is a game where we'll see if Dallas' defense is as good as advertised.
Well, and tomorrow the defensive line has to really show up.
Yep.
I give them a chance to win because of their defense. Yeah. Not a huge chance.
I want to see how Bland. Now, Bland had a great game last week, but tomorrow, show me what you got, buddy.
Yeah, it's report card day for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, tomorrow report card day.
Man, let me tell you, man. If you're a sports fan right now, bro.
It's the best time. You know how they sing in Christmas? It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Bro, I mean, I'm telling you, man. You got college, high school, college, got hockey.
NBA is starting in a couple of weeks. You got preseason games today.
Yep.
Let me tell you something. let me tell you something that's completely off the cuff. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm looking forward to this WNBA finals. That's
it's gonna be good.
I'm looking forward to that.
This is the one they wanted.
This is the one they
New
wanted.
York, Vegas, two super teams.
Liberty versus the Aces.
Super team.
Chelsea Gray, Brianna Stewart,
and the Liberty. The Liberty won 3 out of the 5 games this year.
They played. I thought they split them down the middle, but okay.
I think they played 5 times. They said Liberty won 3 out of the 5.
Yeah, they have. I mean, the Aces. Is Candace Parker still out, or is she back?
I think she's still injured.
Let me tell you something. I predicted when Sabrina Ionescu got drafted by the Liberty 3 years ago. When she came out, I said that, and this is when KD and James Harden had shown up in New Jersey, and they were expecting the Nets to take over the Knicks, which will never happen. However, but when Sabrina Ionescu got drafted by the Liberty, I said she will be the savior of New York basketball.
Man.
And they were like, I said to myself, I can't believe I'm saying it. But if the New York Liberty win the WNBA championship, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, who is also from Syracuse, New York, by the way, she's a New Yorker.
Yeah,
they will be the saviors of
Crystal
New York.
Crystal Army High played Brianna Stewart in the sectional regional.
That's crazy.
That Brianna Stewart,
it's no joke.
Brianna Stewart is a ball.
Yeah, they lost by they only lost by like 6. But down the stretch, 4th quarter, Stewart took over on them.
Yeah, Sierra got to meet them. Sierra, my daughter Sierra, she's friends with a lot of those players, and she got to go to Sue Bird's little retirement dinner brunch thing they had, and she got to meet Brianna Stewart at the brunch. And she stayed with Candace Parker. So it was crazy. Sierra was like, Candace Parker's been my favorite player my whole life, and here I am staying in her house for a day. She couldn't believe it. So she got to meet Brandon. She was sending me pictures of the event where they were at, and she was like, "Dad, look at this Sue Bird right here." And I was like, "Wow, man." Brianna still was sitting there. So so it's neat. But listen, they will be the saviors of New York basketball. I'm saying it right now. The Knicks are terrible. The Nets are terrible. The women's basketball is going to be the savior of New York basketball.
John Andrew said, "You coughing again?"
Tell Andrew to shut up.
Andrew, he said, "Shut up."
No, but I think the Liberty is the only legacy franchise that haven't won the WNBA championship. I
believe so. Yes,
I think they're the only.
Last time it was in the finals was 2002.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah,
I'm like you know how you give kids candy and they just go crazy for that time. That's how I feel right now with all the sports, man.
Yeah.
There was no pumpkin patch for me today.
We're in the heart of college football season. I can't wait for this Red River shootout today. That's gonna be a good one today. I can't wait for that game. I mean, that's gonna be a good.
That's gonna be a good one.
Now, that's
the game of the day, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I think College Game Day is there. But which team do you think should be on upset alert more? Texas. Maryland and Ohio State, or Kentucky,
Texas.
Georgia?
I'm gonna say. Well, you know what though, Maryland's got a good passing game.
He's Tua's little brother.
Yeah, and Ohio State really haven't been tested in passing wise.
No, their secondary hasn't been. I mean, Notre Dame was more of a slugfest,
right?
And it was a good win for them.
And I don't know how good Maryland defense is. You can score in their defense, so that may be a high scoring game today.
Yeah, I don't see either team losing, to be perfectly honest with you. But Maryland, I think, presents more of a threat. If you look at the game last Georgia. Year, Maryland had the ball last year with an opportunity to march down the field and possibly win the game against Ohio State. Now, they threw an interception in their own end zone, which resulted in a pick six.
And Maryland has played them tough the last few times.
Yeah. So
It
And I
should
don't
be
think
interesting.
Ohio State is anywhere near offensively what they've been in recent years. I mean, shout out to CJ Stroud. Dude is balling in the NFL, man. I'm telling you,
He's doing well.
He might be
on my
one
Steelers last week.
Yeah, he would. I mean, he might be one of those one of the Ohio State quarterbacks that actually ascends to. Now, Justin Fields been playing better as of late as well. We saw him Monday night, or was it Thursday night? We saw him Thursday night.
Thursday.
So, but yeah, I see CJ Stroud as being that guy. I mean, even though they're the enemy, Ohio State. There are certain players that I've always kind of admired from afar from their team, and CJ Stroud is one of them. He throws, in my opinion, the most accurate placement of a football that I've ever seen a quarterback throw.
Oh my Lord! Hold on 1 second, John. You're singing the praises of Ohio State. You might have to go see your pastor.
Listen. I might have to go to the doctor after this broadcast is over to see what I'm doing.
You guys are hearing it with your own ears.
Listen. Anybody who's an Ohio State fan out there, don't get it twisted. I hate y'all. With how the scripture say, I have hated you with a perfect hatred or something like that. So don't you ever get it twisted. I am Michigan 100%.
There you go.
But I think it's intellectually lazy and honest when you can't acknowledge even though they are your rival, when someone does well. And I think he's done well. Unfortunately, his legacy as an Ohio State quarterback is going to be the fact that he could never beat Michigan. But I think he'll do well. I think he's doing well in the NFL, and you might even see a campaign for Rookie of the Year.
That's like me singing the praises of Dustin Pedroia.
I'm not singing the praises.
It ain't gonna happen, son. It ain't happening. No, I hate the Red Sox. I ain't never talking about it.
Like
it ain't happening.
Michigan State.
No, sir.
I can acknowledge certain guys on Michigan State throughout the years that have been, good to great players. I remember back.
I mean, and that's good. I mean, because here on SportsChat, we want to be open and honest. We don't want to be just ridiculous. And so I appreciate you. Appreciate you exactly.
And so I have to. Objective analysis.
If a person is good, a person's good. Facts are facts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree. Dustin Pedroia was a great Red Sox.
Listen, I'll never root for the Celtics.
No,
that Tatum was a bad boy.
Oh, he's a bad boy. Who should have been wearing a Laker uniform if Magic Johnson would not have allowed
Lonzo Ball,
LeVar Ball to hype up Lonzo to the point where he passed on what could have been a generational player for the Lakers in Jason Tatum. So that was, and the fact that he went to the Celtics.
Me and Ronald was talking about that. Would he still been there though? Would he been in the package for AD?
If he's shown anything
inkling of what he is now,
of what he's shown in Boston, I don't see how you include him in any package.
Well, we would have had the LeBron effect, though.
Yeah,
that's the problem, man. Like I love Bron and all that, man. But his influence on the front office and how he likes to structure teams is very strong. And
he becomes the system. He is the system wherever he goes, and you just have to design your team around him. That's the upside and the downside of having LeBron James on your team. He becomes the system.
I saw LeBron working out the other day. He looks great.
He better get it done this year because they got some good pieces around them this year, boy.
They loaded. They're
loaded. I think the pickup of the for them was Christian Wood.
That was good.
I think that was just an absolute brilliant pickup, and they got him on the cheap. It's not like they got him.
Yeah, just about all their guys they got on the cheap. Then they're good.
He's got a team and a support. I don't think he can get past those two beasts from the East, though. If you're talking Milwaukee,
and Boston.
Boston added Drew Holiday and they added Kristaps Porzingis. That's gonna be hard to beat.
I was wondering about Boston before they got Holiday because they got rid of their defensive people, right?
I don't like the loss of Robert Williams. I don't like
they lost Smart, they lost Williams, but Drew Holiday's a good defender too.
He's a great defensive guard. He's a great defensive guard.
And he's a more efficient scorer too than Marcus Smart ever was.
Mm-hmm.
Right. For the Lakers, we'll know how good they're going to be by Christmas. And what I say is, they might, as they built this team with all the new guys, it's going to take a little while to gel. The media is going to be really on them to see what happens. Same thing with Boston, right? It's going to take them a while to gel with the new guys and stuff. By December into January, whether your team's going to be any good or not. We'll know by then. I'm not going to panic early if either one of those teams falter, because I know they got new pieces. Milwaukee the same way. It's going to take a little while to get adjusted and all that. But if they're start to roll by late December into January, right? You start seeing them running off wins, then I'll feel better about where they're at. Early on, it's going to be the Lakers thing will be whether or not Anthony Davis can stay healthy. If he stays healthy, which is a big if. If he can stay healthy, he's.
But again, the Boston putting their eggs in Porzingis, he out all the time too.
Yeah, he is.
He missed the injury too.
And not only
you sneeze him, Porzingis, he out.
Right. And you gave up a lot defensively on Boston, like to your point earlier.
Yeah, a whole lot.
I mean, Robert Williams was your rim protector. He was your guy.
Yeah.
He really anchored that Celtics defense. We'll see. They're better on the perimeter defense, especially with Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know, man. That defense took a hit, I think,
and then
with
the other garbage Williams guy, the other garbage man guy, he's gone too.
He's gone.
Yeah, so
they'll look different.
Both Williams are gone, yeah.
They might have to outscore their opponents this year.
They were tough. I'm looking forward to basketball. I'm gonna watch the Lakers today just to see how it is. I'm gonna have like 5 screens going today, man.
They play today?
Yeah, the Lakers play tonight. Golden State tonight.
Okay.
But they announced that Bron's not playing tonight.
So I want to see the other guys anyway. I already know what you got, LeBron James. They have enough guys to protect him with Gabe Vincent coming over, and they got D'Angelo Russell back. Like, they don't have to play Bron so much early in the year. You got to get these other guys in the groove and stuff. They played well last year, man. I can't deny that. I'm looking forward to seeing where they go. They're younger. They got all the pieces, right? So there's no excuse. The highlight package is going to be crazy with them, with Jackson Hayes dunking all over the place.
Hayes and them dunking.
The highlight package for the Lakers is going to be nuts. But again, man, it comes down to, can you play defense in the playoffs? There's no dunks in the playoffs, right? You got to earn it. And we'll see, man. We'll see. It's early on. But we can get started.
You guys see the clip the other day? They was like, who does this in the 21st year, 38 years old, and they dunk in practice like this?
Listen,
and Bron goes down the lane and yanks it. They was like, yo, just practice, Bron.
That guy, he's got, listen, I understand a lot of the criticisms he get. Finals record is not the best, blah, blah, blah. But that guy is one of the most incredible athletes
of all time.
This is to be averaging 30
points
a game in year 20.
Yes, they showed
his stats. Unheard of.
I saw a stat yesterday, John. They showed his year 7 stats versus his year 20 stats.
They're probably
stats were a little bit better, to be honest. Yeah, more.
You see what I'm saying? That's unbelievable. That's unheard of.
And the way I saw him
you see how he looks this year.
He looks slim and fit. He looks beautiful.
I said,
the guy might be better this year than last year.
He looked like he can play another 5 years.
Yes, he really does. It's amazing, man. I always said it about Michael Jordan being the best player I've ever seen. But from a physical specimen standpoint, LeBron James might be it. Yeah. I remember when Kareem was in his 20th year, man, he was just a shell of himself, right? LeBron is like, you just waiting for him to lose a step. And he just don't lose. It's amazing. It's amazing. I don't know. He got good genes, man. He's been blessed.
All right, well, Jackie, I'll see you out there, Jackie. Thanks for watching. Evangelist Caraway, she put 2 thumbs up for Ohio State, John. We got
what? Oh, Jackie.
Yeah, she got Ohio State.
Jackie.
No, not Jackie. That's Evangelist Caraway. Evangelist Caraway. She goes to Agape over in Troy.
Come on,
She
Evangelist.
put 2 thumbs up for Ohio State.
But no, okay.
But I'm
rolling
rolling
they're following
I'm
the lead
rolling
of
with
their past.
Oklahoma today. The Sooner Schooner. Think they're gonna roll over. They're gonna win over Texas.
No way. No.
I'm a long-standing Oklahoma supporter.
No.
Back to the triple option days of Jamel Holloway and Barry Switzer.
Hook 'em horns,
Ah!
bro. Oh, no.
I don't know her. I'm gonna watch it, but Texas looks good, man. I think
they beat Texas today. No way. The Oklahoma struggled. Who did they play last week? I can't remember.
No, I think it was to 1 week they gave up 26 to like some nobody really.
Yeah. I'm like, their defense is trash. I don't. Quinn Ewers is gonna have a field day against Notre Dame against Oklahoma.
Can Texas stop Oklahoma though?
I guarantee you, Texas has a better chance of stopping Oklahoma than Oklahoma has of stopping Texas.
Where's that game
being played? Here's the thing: it's the when they play when it's the Red River rivalry, you could throw out records, you could throw out rankings. Yeah. It's just that type of game.
I see Texas winning by at least 10. At least 10 today.
Should be interesting.
Listen, I heard some sportscasters this week. Some that I have a little bit of respect for. Give some analysis about the kind of the state of college football and where teams are. John, to a point, I've heard some of the top folks believe that Michigan is really the best team in college football.
I heard.
Hold on, let me tell you. Some
on
people
Dorian Bell, they were saying about. They said Michigan is going to be in the draft this year. They're going to be like Georgia was 2 years ago.
Oh, I see a lot of us.
They said they got like 15 people that's going to be drafted from Michigan.
Sarah Steele. I think even I don't know if Donovan is ready yet. Honestly, I think Blake coming back kind of hurt Donovan in his development. I think he was looking to be that feature back this year. And if you see his production is about where it was last year, but I think he was looking to take that next step and being the guy. And so, but yeah, I do think I'm hesitant to call Michigan. I think they're the most complete on both sides of the ball because they've got less questions than most of the top teams. Georgia was breaking in a new quarterback. Ohio State was breaking in a new quarterback. Alabama, seems to have righted their quarterback problems of earlier, but they were having issues at quarterback. Michigan, 3/4 of what you saw from Michigan is what was on the team last year. Mm-hmm. But the only reason I'm hesitant to say our schedule is very back heavy. I mean,
yeah. Well, and that's what they were saying is that you really won't be able to tell
not until
how good Michigan is until November.
We got a 3-week gauntlet.
That's what they were saying. That's what they were saying on the show.
At Maryland and home against Ohio State. That'll tell us everything we need to know about this
three, buddy. That's where they do it. But from a talent standpoint, they're putting it all together. The argument that they made is that Michigan should be ahead of Georgia because Georgia has not shown that same tenacity.
They haven't. They haven't.
They bring a new quarterback. And I wrote back to that particular sportscaster, and my point was this. I agree with that point. But any team that's put, the number of guys in the NFL that they put in over the last 2 years, bound to have some type of drop off as you redevelop.
No doubt. No doubt.
So Georgia,
you can't stay at that level all the time.
Good Lord. They had 10 guys in the 21 draft or 22 draft go, right? And then this year they had another 7, 8 guys. Come on. But they still have to play the games. And the bottom line is, you asked that question earlier, Herman, about who was right for an upset. If Kentucky beat them today, woo! Kentucky's got that's a dangerous game for Georgia.
That's a trap.
Dangerous game.
I would feel better. I would feel better about Kentucky.
It's in Kentucky. It's like Kentucky.
If it was in
Is
Kentucky.
it in Kentucky?
No, I believe it. No, it's in Georgia. Is it in Georgia?
It's in Georgia. I don't.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I would feel better about their chances.
That kind of helps them out.
Yeah. I think in what you were just saying, Ron, kind of leads me to my next point. I think we should just do away with preseason rankings. I've made that argument for years that we should do away.
Yeah, no point in them.
Because you prejudice the minds of people. I don't think any team should be ranked until at least 4 or 5 games into the season. So you'll have a better because you'll have teams that'll cry about being dropped, like when Ohio State dropped from number 3 to number because of poor performances. Not I won't say poor performances, but not great performances against some of the early teams on their schedule. I just think it would be because so much of what preseason rankings are based on is the previous year.
Yeah. Let me give you an example of why you're right, John. I'll give you an example of why you're right. If you look at the strength of schedule so far for Georgia and Texas, right? Texas has a win over Alabama. Georgia has played nobody. And they've had, they have a new quarterback in there. Texas is the second year under Ewers. He looks good. Their defense has played well. They scored points and they beat Alabama, where Georgia played,
and beat Alabama on the road.
Yes. And Georgia hasn't really played anybody that would justify them having the number 1 ranking, given the way that their team has been turned over.
Yeah.
Again, it prejudices the mind where people think Georgia's loaded. They do have a lot of talent, but that talent's still developing. So
absolutely. Now they're loaded with talent. Don't get me wrong. Georgia is at the point, I believe, where Alabama is, where they're reloading every year. They're getting the cream of the crop. But I just think as of right now, if Texas wins this game against Oklahoma, they'll have wins against Alabama and Oklahoma. They can make as legitimate an argument for being the number 1 team as anybody in the nation.
Right. So we'll see what happens. This is what Chris Berman used to say. That's why we play the games.
That's why you play the games.
And the point of it all too is the playoff ranking don't start until November anyway.
Exactly. That's really the ranking, the only ranking that matters.
So that's really the only ranking that matters.
As we talked about earlier, high school football, college is the same. There's 3 seasons. There's that early season when you beat up on the Little Sisters of the Poor, and those HBCU teams or whoever else they're playing can get their money for their schools, and the big boys beat up on them. Then you start to slide into that regional, their division schedule, their conference schedule, where you can get clipped on some of them trap games, right? Mm-hmm. Michigan State's good for that.
No question.
And then you get into that late season, headed toward the playoff type, atmosphere, like John said, for Michigan. They got that 3-game gauntlet that they have to run in that conference. That's that late season. This is where the proof is in the pudding.
You talking about a murderous road of a finish to a season.
And then you get to that playoff. And that's what it is, man. Listen, if you're a college football fan, you're a basketball fan, you like baseball, you like the NFL, this weekend has got it all, boys.
What else?
Hey, did you guys see did you see the Big Ten schedule from 24 to 28 came out the other day?
I have to review it.
I saw Michigan's schedule, and when I tell you, on top of going to Texas next, they got Fresno State. They go to Texas next year, and then they got games against USC, Oregon. It's man.
Oh, that Big Ten schedule is going to be a
monster
team.
All of the complaints that people have had about Michigan's schedule, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of it is justified. I mean, you open up against East Carolina, Bowling Green,
Little Sisters of the Poor.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You deserve to be criticized for your schedule. I'm not even trying to be a homer like that. But man, all of that goes away next year.
It goes away.
They won't be able to say anything about Michigan's schedule.
With the way those schedules are turning up with the conference realignment and that's why going to the expanded playoff will be important, because could you fault a team like Michigan who say they navigate that schedule and they have 2 losses, right?
Oh, they'll get in.
They should get in with that strength of schedule. Schedule alone should get in.
No question.
Right.
No
question.
And that's one of the reasons why behind like the SEC and the Big Ten. That's why they take those teams like that, because that helps them. They're looking to get into that playoffs, and you gotta let them in with the schedules like that.
Right. That's why Dick Saban always has a strong argument when his team is on the fringe of getting in the playoff. He's like, because we played, they played LSU, and they played at Georgia or somebody in the SEC championship, and he's like, like, who else you want me to play?
And then you play one of them twice.
Yeah, during that, this is a bit of a down year for the SEC, but we already know what it is normally under normal conditions.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I mean, again, it's that same thing where it's just tough to maintain that level that you play at all the time. And look at what's happening in the Pac-12.
You know what? You're seeing you're seeing the trickle down of that transfer portal, because with teams like Georgia that have 60,
they can't just hoard all the
85 are 4 to 5 star player. The other guys like, well, I ain't sticking around. I'm going to play.
Yeah,
Georgia had
just hoard all the time.
And so, but the thing what I'm going to be interested in see is, okay, you're going to get a lot of the younger guys, your freshmen and your sophomores who are disgruntled, right? Will be transferring. So then, teams that pick them up, are they going to step right in that third year, or going to be their senior year?
Depends on where they go. It depends on where they
go. Yeah. And what that team already has that you go to.
Yeah. Because it's been proven, if you can play, the scouts will find you. That's just
that's fact.
They'll find you.
Well,
so it depends
unless you're good at an HBCU, right?
Well, I mean,
hey, well, listen, man. I told you all the missus took the kids and the grandkids to the pumpkin patch. Shout out to Mrs. Thomas. But I was gonna do some cleaning around here today. But
bro,
I don't know.
This ain't the day you want to clean. At least, girl, this ain't the day you want to clean.
No,
it's too many good games today.
Too many good games.
I can't wait. What time is that Red River shooting? I can't. That's the game.
It's 12 noon, ain't it?
All right, we get ready to get to that.
I'm most anticipating that.
And then
game.
you got Georgia, Texas. You got we didn't even talk about the Buffalo game against Arizona State. By the way, Colorado is it's still like the most interesting story, because you saw a lot of growth out of their guys in that late comeback against USC. So you still want to watch what happens, right? If Deion has done anything, he has piqued the interest of.
What time do they play today?
No doubt.
6 o'clock.
Who do they play today?
Arizona State at Arizona State.
On 6 o'clock.
That's a winnable game for them. I think they can win that game.
Yeah, I think this week.
That's winnable.
They had some growth out of their defense. They had Omarion Miller show up at wide receiver and make some big plays for them in that game against USC.
I think Miller was the biggest blessing in disguise. I mean, that kid, you put him on the field with Travis Hunter on offense, and man,
that's going to be dangerous right there.
Yeah. You got a dangerous wide receiver combo when you got those guys.
Yeah, to go with the other kid, number 10 there, and then when you Xavier Weaver, and then when you bring back, they got Alt McCaskill back in the backfield last week, and he ran the ball well. And I think they know they got to start early. They've been giving too many teams, spotting too many teams too early. They're starting to believe. They believe in too late. That they believe in themselves in the second half. They got to do it early.
So that game last week, I mean, USC has been challenged. I mean, Lincoln Riley's teams, period. I don't know what he has against defense.
Yeah. he is the Mike D'Antoni. He's the Mike D'Antoni. He's the Mike D'Antoni of college football. The Mike D'Antoni of college football.
It's like are you ever going to put a good defense on? What do you have against defense? Okay, you're an offensive guy. Great. Get you a defensive core. What do you have against defense?
John, he is
understand.
Mike D'Antoni of college football.
That's a great analogy.
That's a good acknowledgement.
D'Antoni, he run you out the building, but they can't stop nobody. He is the what they call Air Coryell, Mike D'Antoni, whoever you want to compare him to. The San Diego Chargers of the 1980s, Dan Phelps. They put up numbers, lose 45-50.
But when you score 48 points,
you should win easy.
And the game is still in the balance.
Still in the balance.
Because they're lucky Shedeur didn't get the ball back late in that game. Because they got it back again, they were scoring again.
If Colorado would have managed that clock better and stopped, you got the ball with 4 minutes left, no timeouts, and you're running the ball up the middle. What are you doing?
Right. Yeah, let me ask y'all a question though. Just how about Shedeur Sanders? I mean, look,
he's that guy.
These dudes came from an HBCU, right? They came from Jackson State, and they're playing.
He's holding his own. He's that guy.
Imagine if he had an offensive line like a school like Texas got right now. What he'd be doing if you could keep him upright. Man,
give Prime a few years, and he's going to get the recruits. I think people tried to push too much too soon on him this year,
right?
But he's going to get the recruits.
You know the thing about it,
that's
man,
if he stays. Okay. That's if he stays.
Well, you know, I'm not Prime Sanders. I'm not Deion, right? But you know how it is when you know kids have start from me. I started coaching and getting involved in Little League because Trey and Gabriel Smith,
you can see the talent,
were 9 years old in senior farm, and neither one of them made the All-Stars. Right?
That's just
now
crazy.
I'm okay. I'm okay if you take one of them, but both of them didn't make it. So I was like, oh no. This cannot happen to my guys like that.
Well, we know about the national Little League bias.
That's how I got involved into getting on the board, started coaching, and then but I knew I could only go so far, with the kids, right? Here you had Deion. Deion's like, yo, you know what? I'm going, because he coached them in high school. And then he says, I'm taking wherever I go, you going. So
listen,
because he know what he has.
And he said, man, also he had that same feeling where he was like, I ain't gonna turn my son over to one of these guys and put him on the bench and he don't ever get that legitimate opportunity that he deserves. Look, man, I can't argue that. I coach my kids too, just for that reason, so they didn't get jerked around by some guy. National Little League has a bias going back to 1982. I was the best player in that league when I was 12. I didn't make the All-Star team. We won a round robin championship. I was 5 for 5 in the championship game. Right? Herb know the deal. There's no way in the world I didn't make that All-Star team at 12.
It still stings, don't it, Ron? It's still
it's kind of hard to make the All-Star team when you yell at your coaches. You know what I mean? That don't help you out very much, I tell you.
We was loaded. We was loaded.
It's true.
We were loaded when I was 12.
You can still see the pain on his face.
The squad they had, man, they squad, nice Columbus, they was loaded, boy.
She was loaded.
Really?
They was loaded.
And we won a championship. Yeah, man. I play second base. I can name the squad right now.
I'm getting loaded. I'm gonna coach in this coming season in the spring, and it's gonna be so great for me because I don't have no kid involved,
right?
And so I'm just gonna be coaching, to be coaching and help the kids get better, and and I'm excited because again, it's gonna be no stress for me because nobody can blame me for playing my son. No favoritism. And I didn't do that anyway, unlike a lot of the coaches. I didn't favor my sons. They were subject to everything like that, but they didn't get no favor. Matter of fact, when I was coaching Babe Ruth, we had the best team when Trey was 15, right? And so Trey came late one game, right? He come walking across the street. He got his cleats on his shoulder like he was. So I didn't start him.
Boy Trey
because he was late. I didn't start him. He got in when I made my changes, the third inning, right? So one of the fathers came up to the gate. Trey not playing? He going, yeah, he gonna play. He gonna get him with the sub because he late. He don't get no special treatment. I don't care. Come strolling like he all that. Boy, you better get in there.
Right. I hear you, man. Listen, I love.
And so again, a lot of kids who have the talent, if they don't have that person supporting them, they go by the wayside. Yeah. You can't tell me that there isn't more talent, NFL able players in those HBCUs than get credit for. Okay, yeah, they always want they're gonna name the few, they're gonna name the Jerry Rices and the Water Paytons and the right. But I mean, there's been way more talent than just those people.
Those same dudes
they just didn't get the opportunity.
Those same guys go to the same high schools in the South and in Detroit and these places, just like them dudes from the top guys. A lot of times there's other issues that happen with them, but those same dudes, right? That I know guys for a fact that I grew up playing baseball with in Albany, and I saw when my son was playing up through the ranks in New York. Had they been in any other environment, they were legitimate D1 players. When I got to Georgia, the only difference I saw the guys was just maybe the physical size of these dudes were like country strong, right? But in terms of like fundamentally sound players and stuff, baseball standpoint, I was like, bro, I grew up with a lot of dudes that could play basketball, football, and stuff that really should have been. Had they been in another environment,
bro,
I had been D1 guys.
I had a playground right down the street from me growing up. When I tell you there was some legends on that court, guys that I know would have been NBA talent if they had the drive and the right focus,
the support and stuff. Yeah,
no question about it.
Look at it, like if you take Major League Baseball as an example, right? The black players are all Dominicans now, right? They're all African descent. They're all brothers, right? They just happen to be from Dominica or Dominican Republic. They are tremendous players. And we still have that same ability here with black players in America. We just don't play baseball as frequently as
they playing well. And I tell you, it's funny because this year at camp, right? They brought a collapsible basketball rim, put it out right in the area kind of where my baseball stuff is at.
Yep.
I was like, and so, but when the kids came out, I put no basketball because that's gonna be the first thing they grab, right?
Right. Yeah.
Girls and the boys. We out here for baseball right now. No basketball until you come out for your rec time. But right now, this is baseball time. Because they all automatically kind of gravitate to that, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of those kids, man, just raw talent. If they got it harnessed in the right direction, they would be dynamite. This kid, 6 years old, his name was Marley. Man, I don't know what Marley's gonna play or whatever, but he probably can do it all. I was doing drills with him on purpose. Just and he didn't skip a beat. He did not skip it. I was like, yo, if Trey could see this dude, he'd be going crazy. He probably would have called you Uncle Ron. I'm turning around. This Marley kid.
I love that. Man.
He was that athletic.
When Ronnie and them were 7, I think they were 7 years old, 7 or 8. He had a bunch of guys that he played with in Little League, right? And they were on different teams, but when they got the All-Star team, I said to myself, if I can get these guys on one squad, we will win. And John, we ran off 4 straight district with that group of guys that I had, we ran off 4.
Yeah, they was in the states.
We almost went to the state championship in 2010.
That's what's up, man.
But listen, that same core of guys, when I moved to Georgia, they went on to win. I think they won the state championship in New York, the team from Rotterdam, right? And a lot of those same guys ended up going to Herkimer. Herkimer now had won like a national championship for junior college.
For Division III?
Yeah, junior college, I think. A lot of those junior college. A lot of those same guys ended up going to Herkimer as a collective, and they won the junior college national championship. Some of them went on to play like D1, like Brandon Krasinski stuff. But that same group of core guys that were like 7, 8, 9, 10, his elementary school was so talented in baseball, John, that Ronnie's team won. We almost won the state championship. So right now, the team that another group of 10-year-olds that went to that same school actually went further than we did from another little league in that area. That's how that's how talented.
Wow.
That's how talented the baseball players were at that school. It was insane, man. Insane.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, guys, it's that time. We gotta go. Our time is up. But we love you. Thanks for everybody that tuned.
Just let me shout out my boy Marcus Brooks. His son plays for Georgia Tech. One of my best friends. His son plays for Georgia Tech, Miles Brooks, and that boy is gonna be a monster safety in the NFL. So I just want to shout him out.
All right.
Shout out Miles.
And we're praying for his younger son that broke his leg. high school senior. We're praying for him as well. Marcus, and we're praying for your sons. Do well, guys. Go for the reach for the stars. Reach for the stars.
Let's go, baby.
Everybody,
Get that remote. Get that remote in your hand. You're gonna need it today. You're gonna need that remote in your hand today.
No pumpkin patch today. No pumpkin patch today.
Listen, I'll let him say that. We won't get into that one.
Oh,
all right, man. Talk to y'all later, man.
I wholeheartedly agree. No pumpkin patch today. Peace, y'all. Till next week.